Hello, Kalu Kale. How are we doing today? Going to be perfectly frank with you, no idea how long this stream's going to be. None. Because we are under, like, severe thunderstorm warnings and everything is on fire. Apparently, it looks like it stopped raining now. But I know my lights were flickering. I would say my lights were flickering about 20-30 minutes ago. So if you hear me just randomly cut off, you know that the power went out. But hello everyone. Hello, Kalu Kale. We're back at it again. On that infinite grind, as they say. Last time we worked a little bit on Ultra Instinct. I worked a little bit more on Ultra Instinct. I've got a few ideas, got a few concepts that need to get hammered out. So far, here's the thing. Here's our attributes. Attributes, roughly speaking, function. Are they perfect? No. Do they function? Yes. These are fine. I'm not 100% sure on the spread yet. We might need to do some work on the spread. How's that really going to look? I don't know. But we're going to have to figure something out here soon. So, very basic ideas that were kind of changed. I kind of added the 3 forms that I was thinking of. Rage boost is quite literally, you have a limited number of times if your rage explodes, and you're just really mad. The good news is, you're rolling d8s instead of d6s. Bad news, this is not going to last very long, and you're going to effectively tire yourself out to the point of uselessness. So, rage bursting is kind of something you need to plan for, but it's very difficult to plan for. On the other hand, we have the Wukong burst. A Wukong burst is effectively you go in Super Saiyan for 5 seconds. That's your Kaioken. It's a bullshit Kaioken, but you go Super Saiyan, you go Super Kaioken, Super Kong, and you go real hard for a bit. Good news, you're rolling d10s in a game based around d6s, and you can really kick some ass. Bad news. After the fight's over, you're gonna you stop, and then you're gonna take some d6s. Let's say you're gonna take 3d6. You're gonna roll, and I'm gonna have to say, all right, congratulations, you are out fucking cold, just completely out cold for 12 days. You rolled a 4, 5, and a 3. You're out cold for about 2 weeks, because that's kind of the idea of it, is you are not really prepared for a full Wukong burst, and if you do it, you're going to be more susceptible than if you don't. If you really need to win a fight, then, there are worse options. If you really want to kick some ass, there are worse options in the world. Generally speaking, it's the hit the button, go, bazinga Satan, saying, and then you pass the fuck out. Then we have Death Rage. Death Rage is you are dying, you know that you're dying, and you're okay with dying. You go complete sicko mode with D12s, however, win or lose, you're not making it out of here alive, and you damn well know it. It's kind of the idea of, like, depending on the amount of XP you get, how many points you invest in your attributes and such, you're going to, at first, everyone to get Rage Boost, that's just going to be kind of like a side note. Invest a certain number, you get the Wukong Burst. Part of me is debating, after a certain number of invested points, you get Death Rage. Another part of it is just, like, during endgame, when you've hit the endgame scenario, when you hit critical condition, you just get Death Rage. That's all that happens. You are going to die, you are going to lose, but hey, that's okay, because you are going absolute gamer mode for just a little bit. And that's sometimes all you need. Banana slammer. As for the rest of it, the idea of a clear ending, I'm still really down for the clear ending. Because I think that's going to... It's going to let this game have a very... I wouldn't say a quick pace, but it's going to have more of a... I don't want this to be a 100-session game. I'm okay with things not being a 100-session game. I don't want this game to be that long because I don't think it can sustain that long. On the other hand, you have 12 sessions, you have 10 sessions, you have 2 sessions, even a session. Then, boom, you have a very clear ending. You are doing this exact one thing, and it's, here is an actual ending to the series. All of those sound awfully narrative. Well, the idea of a clear ending, it's kind of the idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to propose a handful of endings, and it's more along going to be the idea of there is a very clear situation that is going to go down, and it is not going to be good for anyone involved. You are Saiyans. You are going to... Something bad is happening. It's kind of outside of your control, but whether you go down like the rest or you go down like Bardock is kind of up to you. You might even get out of there alive. You don't know. And I want them to all feel fairly different. It's like, yeah, you can have the kind of the standard, oh no, Lord Burner is trying to kill you all because he's evil and he's going to blow up, your planet. And you have to do your final fight, but you are not going to win this fight. You are doomed. It's more of a fight till you go down kind of situation. Or it's going to be like, hey, there's going to be a civil war kicking off, and that's how the entire game is leading up to, is that distinctive moment where civil war kicks off. Where do you stand? Are you going to win? Are you going to lose? Probably not. You don't know. That's not the point of the story. It's leading up to that situation. It's, hey, we don't know. We are fighting we are fighting a war in which we're pretty confident we can't win, but we're still going to keep fighting it. We're going to fight till the bitter end. And just because we're just going to death war. I can also kind of put some of the old Saiyan lore in. I don't know if this has been retconned or not. I don't think it's been retconned. But in Dragon Ball, there used to be 2 varieties of Saiyans that lived on planet Vegeta. There used to be the Saiyans and the other people. The other people had a hyper-advanced society of spacefaring people. The Saiyans were a bunch of fucking monkey barbarians who would just invade every now and again. The monkeys won because they could turn into great apes. That is the actual plot. And I thought that was very interesting. Yeah, he resigns the last hope on life and thinking of a past loves, decides to activate the death rage. Hell yeah, man. I'm totally fine with that. Hey, I'm rolling a bunch of D12s. I'm gonna die. Probably, already at death's door. I'm fucking fine with that. Hell yeah, let's go. You got a better name for it? Come on, I want to hear it. We're dealing with Saiyans in a game that might be 8 sessions. Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm okay with something called a death rage. Yeah, I stopped caring about living or dying. I'm just going to die, and I am okay with it. But yeah, that's kind of the basic idea of what we have here. Generally speaking, this is kind of my ideas up here. Health is leaning toward being a little higher because it's going to double as your experience points. So it's like, alright, that's a good idea. I think that's fine. That's going to work just okay. It really depends on how these numbers turn out. It's kind of a chicken and egg scenario where it's like, okay, do we, You know, we got to work on these numbers to get these numbers to get these numbers to make sure everything else works. Generally speaking, I am okay to tone numbers higher, which gives you more XP, but also makes you a little bit more survivable. Kind of the idea with how injured you get. Healthy, injured, desperate, critical. Bit early on. Not 100% sure on the... Not 100% sure on the exact health ratios. Mostly because I'm usually not a big fan of percentages. But if it works, it works. That's what I was even thinking, and kind of like, this kind of funnels into this a little bit. I might actually remove injured and just put it as, you know, 120, you know, 50, 25. It's kind of the idea of like, this is how much ki you're generating. If you take a charge action, you say, I'm just going to charge up. If you do one action at desperate, you spend 1 AP, you're going to get 3 ki out of it. You're perfectly healthy, you're only going to get 1. If you're fucking dying, you could spend a lot less and get a lot more. That I'm okay with. Because I want you... The thing that I am always encouraging players to do in this game is get closer and closer to death. You are getting closer and closer to dying. Just get... You know, I want you to end every fight at 1 health. I want you to be at the lowest possible you can. Because the guy who is at the lowest possible they can be is going to get the most out of it. It's like, hey, yeah, and it's kind of that, again, there's that little bit of a push and pull being like, hey, I'm getting my ass kicked. On the other hand, I'm getting my ass kicked. I'm feeling great. You know, I'm going to get a lot of XP out of this if I survive. Hence why things like rage boosting, Wukong bursts, death raging is important, because then you can kick it up. Hey, I'm feeling more confident now. That's going to be, you know, kind of the heroic return. I don't even know yet. Something like that, mostly because we're basing, this is going to be the Bardock RPG, and Bardock really doesn't have many of those heroic return moments, because Bardock fucking dies. It's generally speaking, there's a couple ideas of what we can do with that. That's not too, that's not too extravagant to kind of get an idea. Kind of up here's the idea is, hey, anytime you're doing non-combat actions, 2d6 plus a flat modifier to one of your 9 attributes. Most of the time, it is going to be skill, it's going to be strength, it's going to be willpower. It's going to be something up here, which is usually pretty simple to understand. And I'm okay with some of these being higher, because I want you to fail. Some things, you're going to be bad at, and every option should always have the solution to blow it up. Every check has the option to, well, I can try to reason this out and be delicate with things. Or I could break you in half and laugh while doing it. I could very easily attempt to use this computer to do something. That's really difficult, and I don't quite know what that means. However, I can also hit it with an energy blast and make it go away, so I don't have to think about it anymore. If there's an answer, there's a way to fuck it up, and I'm okay with that. It's, as of right now, the part that I've been... This has been the part that I've been struggling with. This is currently my issue. So, I literally wrote out an entire separate set of notes because I was having so much trouble with this. So, basic idea. This is the most basic premise. Whatever, you're going to have the contacts initiative system. Contacts initiative system, you're going to roll a bunch of dice, and that's going to be your AP. However, this also doubles as your initiative. So if I have, let's say, initiative 50, that means I have 50 action points. Action points. That means I can do 50 action points worth of stuff. Easy enough to understand. However, if I have initiative 45, I only have 45 action points to do things. But let's say our person A up here does an action that costs 20 action points. You would go down to 30. He still has a 50 initiative. He's already gone, but he only has 30 action points left. What if someone does something worth 20? Actually, let's say he does something worth like 10. So he's at 35. B would then go again because he still has a higher initiative, a higher action points than the first person. That's where I'm currently getting a little bit stuck on, because there's a few ways to do this. Monkey punch pewter. So when writing something as outlandish like this, how do you set up hard limitation for it to still work? What do you mean? How do I set up, where, at what point do I stand proud and say this is the line in the sand, or this is still too silly, I have to make it go away? Specifics, man, specifics. So currently, again, basic idea, more AP, more actions, higher initiative. I thought about doing something like this, though. Kind of the idea of you have an initiative value of when you actually go. Well, not necessarily when you go, but who places first on this map. But that kind of goes into the velocity map. Effectively, let me open up paint.net here real fast. There we go. And then we do let's see. Boom. Okay. Using the magic internet machine. Going at the whole hog with content you build, right? You're gonna be like 87 plus 2d12 AP. Yeah, if you go like super dedicated, like if you go super duper Saiyan and you go get absolutely cracked, like yeah, you can roll insane sequence scores in contact. Much to its, on one hand, it's really cool when it works. On the other hand, it is really bad when it doesn't. And contact really fell into that second category more often than not. So again, let's take our legally distinct bay in here. So, kind of the idea of the velocity map is pretty easy to understand. Oh no, me and my legally distinct let me grab my legally distinct let me grab chemotherapy Goku real fast. Don't worry everyone, it's not Krillin. He's totally just going to be Krillin. But don't worry, he's different, guys. He's my OC Krillin. He's Krillan with an A. There we go. We have got our two legally distinct Bayans here who are fighting with one another. So the basic premise is whoever has highest initiative has to place themselves down first. So he would say, I'm going Sonic speed. Whoever's slowest would go say, I want to go here. Whoever is fastest places themselves down at a different place. Wherever you are on this velocity map is how much AP you're going to generate. If you're raging, you get D8s. If you're in your death rage, you get D12s. That's kind of the idea. Every round, you would be trying to determine how fast or how slow you're going as you descend in order. That's kind of the basic idea behind it. It's a little weird, it's a little high concept, but I wanted to merge these two ideas together. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of going whole hog, yeah. Rules too convoluted and mathy. To give you an idea, Caven, one of the current options as of right now is use a Stella map. We're going to use a Stella map with the idea of you have this effectively this weird, not even like an initiative tracker, like a literal speed tracker of, down below, and you're positioning yourselves on this the Stella map. For those who don't know, the Stella map was a thing I accidentally wrote for Granbell, which turned out to be pretty good. It's effectively zone-based initiative, but you have free movement. That's all it is. You're on the constellation map. You're being able to move around a lot more aggressively, depending on how fast you're actually going. It's a little bit goofy, but it somewhat works. It worked for Granbell, so I'm like, it could work for this. This is one option, literally having two different markers of where you are. So you'd be one place on a map, but you would have a completely different marker to see how fast you're going. That is a current option, and currently probably the best option. That's the most cursed reality of this situation. Not only is this possibly the only, but this might be the best. Very math autism. Yeah, shit's fucked, and I'm all for it. Basic premise. This is the current way I'm thinking about doing things. So we've got our two little tokens down here who indicate our current speed, and let's draw a quick constellation. I'll draw like a quick constellation map just to give everyone an idea of how this might work. Very simply, it's League of Legends. For those who don't know, this is the capital up. So, this is our very basic map. It's not perfect, this is just an example. Don't think about it too hard. So, initiative start. Oh no, who has the highest initiative this round? Well, we'll say Krillin has the highest initiative. Krillan has the highest initiative. What he gets to do, let's put ourselves on the map here fast. We'll do something like this. Is just again, this is extremely high concept. Let's say he's here. So he would say, okay, our slowest one has to put down what speed she is going at. Let's say she's going here. She's going at speed 3. Krillin here says, hey, I'm going to go faster than you because I want to go faster than you. Then, after we determine this, it would descend in order. We would roll for our AP. He would roll 4d6. She would roll 3d6. And then we would move around. She might score higher AP than him. If she scores higher AP, she is going to be able to do actions as it ticks down. That's kind of the basic idea. It is a little bit complicated. It's a little bit weird. But we're working with something that can be tied to just dice, like 8 speed rather than having the tracker of the speed. Could make speed tied to just a die, like he was 1 to 8 speed rather than have a tracker for the speed. It's literally, the idea is not necessarily like, oh, this is like a mandatory tracker. This is just a reference guide. You could literally just have a D8 or like a D6 or whatever to see what your actual speed is currently. Because everyone is moving so quickly, it's almost impossible to get a gauge on it. Because the other idea, again, I'm using this because this is the only map, like, no other game in the universe uses the velocity map, so in this current incarnation, the idea would be in this situation, he is range 1 from her. These two are range 1 from each other. They could be on the same speed. They would be range 0 and could do melee attacks against one another. If he's all the way over here, with something like this, then he is so far away that they could only do range attacks against one another. That's kind of the... Again, we're dealing with something extremely weird and extremely high quality, like high concept. My mic is giga quiet today. Is this better? Is this better? If I speak into the mic at this angle? Shinobigami. That's what you're thinking of. Also, I can't hear out of my right ear, so noise might be a little bit weird. Don't worry, it's nothing serious. It is quite literally, I'll start smacking your lips. Sorry, everybody. It's Note ASMR tonight. My erotic ERP ASMR. Need to give the people what they want, what they fucking crave. My erotic ERP. You know. See, that's what I should do one day. Just get on here late at night. Middle of the fuck off, PC gamer. No one likes you. I don't even like your stupid website. It's all you need to do. Patreon only RP audios for $12.50 a month. Yeah, pretty much. Again, just get on here at like 2 in the morning and just, without a hint of irony, just read through erotic fan fiction or something and like only chatting. Delete it right after. No one must know. Everything goes on the second channel. Like... Hey, I've got to... I'm already a VTuber, so I may as well, complete the cycle. Don't tell me to buy you a good mic. No, I need one of those. Here, let's get off topic because that's what I do best. Like, one of these cursed abominations. This is what I need. One of these horrifying cursed abominations that I think everyone must know about. Yo, man, with a fucking 3D. Yeah, I mean, I need to give the people what they want, Smartin. This is what they crave. Get my ultra large Slurpee in one thing. Get my erotic fan fiction in the other. And sing the song of my people as we talk about horrifying erotic situations in the role-playing game world scene. The 2 AM Big Gulp stream. Just set it up like the Eric Andre show. But yeah, no, it's Dinosaur Erotica RPG, the read through. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Bobby. Unfortunately, the Tingleverse RPG, because yes, I want you all to know that the Tingleverse RPG does exist. And yes, you can get the official Tingleverse RPG. This is a thing that exists. The only problem with the Tingleverse role-playing game, Experience Requiem, is that it is not a PDF. It is entirely physical. I would need to purchase Pounded by the Pound, Turned Gay by the Socioeconomic Implications of Britain Leaving the European Union. Yeah, or oh my god, Gay Dinosaur Erotica author publishes the, yeah. I'm okay with this. I don't know about you guys, but I think we should have more official Tingleverse. Yo, my billionaire Triceratops craves gay ass, pounded by President Bigfoot, taken by the gay unicorn biker. Like, this is the content that you desire. This is the content that the world needs. What the fuck is the Tingleverse? Chuck Tingle is an author. I'm okay with not caring about more of this. Kind of the Chuck Tingle is a fairly, I wouldn't say notorious author, but he's kind of a meme thing where he writes these very extravagant novels. We'll say them, usually gay erotic fiction, with such of living inside my own butt for 8 years, starting a business and turning a profit through common sense reinvestment and strategic, targeted marketing. You also have Harriet Porber, pounded by the physical manifestation of the shockingly massive importance of pre-orders when supporting authors and enjoying traditional publishing industry. Not pounded by anything while I practice responsible social distancing. And yes, Chuck Tingle did win a Hugo Award. He won 2 Hugo Awards. By all his extremely yeah, as you can tell, we're dealing with some high quality. This is here when you take on a Chuck Tingle versus the Borg. Of course he did. The West has truly fallen. Yeah, like, I don't think people quite understand. There is an entire market of weird, like, hello phone, of weird romantic, like, shitpost erotica novels. Like, there is an absurd number of these. And I'm not even talking about my favorite genre of book, which is Amish romance novels. If you're European, you will not understand this. If you are American, you get this. The extensive collection of Amish romance novels. It's... Because you'd look at it, you're like, man, there can't be that many Amish romance novels. But then you realize, yes, there are a lot of Amish romance novels. You go to Walmart or any like Dollar General and go to the book section. I encourage all of you to look at the books because they are all fucking insane. And the exact same book, just repeatedly released with different names. There's an entire reverse harem hockey team semi-consensual erotica. Who made the book about a woman falling in love with coronavirus? Like, West is said in Mortal. Yo, love novel, Christopher on my own. Oh, you look it in there, you'll find it. Now, again, Kevin, I can guarantee you, if you go to, like, the Corner Mart, just a basic store where you can get random shit and find the book section, you will find your country's equivalent of what the fuck novels. Like, why are there so many of these? It's kind of like Russian lit RPGs. This is apparently a massive genre in Russia. A weirdly huge one. Of an extensive number of lit RPGs. Because the entire idea of these lit RPGs is like you're like it's like not even like you're playing a character, it's not like even a game book. It is like characters are part of a game and they'll have like character sheets and shit. And you can like follow them and it's like they're playing a game. It is apparently a massive genre over there. And it's just that this is their slop. It's slop and it's great. I have a deep affection for slop books. Every single time I try to hunt them down in any bookstore or any store I go to is to find the most bullshit, horrible slop I can find. And this is the keynote. What is lit RPG? Let's see. People have been making the same telenovela over and over again since the early 50s. Bargains or Lid book aisle dedicated to Amish Roll, man. Hey, the gadget cult is its own thing. We love gadget cult. So here's so it'd be like kind of the idea, like let's say we have this book right here. Effectively what it would be, it's like, oh, the main character is in an RPG and he is playing the game normally, or he's in the he's in the game, or it's like you're as a character reading through it. And it's like an RPG. You can see their character sheets. They have stats. They have game mechanics, quote unquote, that they have to obey. It's an incredibly strange thing. You know when you're reading like shitty Japanese isekai? Like it is effectively Russian isekai, and it's amazing. I love it. Because it's insane. It is completely fucking bonkers. Similar to it. Like, it's one of those things that I want to dive deeper into. None of these books make it westward. Oh, you know, Harlequin story. Oh, we had the whole, yeah, girl kidnapped by pirate, Fabio, check. Noble lady meets sexy Eskimo dude, check. You get it, Caven, then. You get it. I know in Canada, I don't know if any of you are Canadian, apparently there is a huge thing of Mountie romances. Like, yes, Mountie romances are apparently very popular up in Canada. I'm like, alright, that's different. Like, but then I was just like, yeah, I guess that would imply I am Canadian and I will find you. But I'm like, yeah, no, it's just like, hey, that is such an interesting thing. But I also make a point of trying to find all the Freddy Fazbear Fright Night books. Every single time I will find the Freddy Fazbear books. Let me do Freddy Fazbear Fright. Because it's the Fright Night, I believe that's what they're called. Yeah. I don't think you quite understand. There is so many fucking Five Nights at Freddy's books that I find in the children's book section. Like, and they're books, mind you. They're not like graphic novels or whatever. They're actually books. And I was like, oh, like this can't be real. Like, Fazbear Frights. Yeah, that's it. Like, there are 12 of these. There are a shit ton of these, like, Five Nights at Freddy's books. I get really fascinated in cheap, shitty books. I love them. Yeah, I know, Tales of the Pizzaplex. I love those ones. Yeah, because like this is Tales of the Pizzaplex. It's the same one. This is the one, like this is the fucking tiger one. You're like, ah, yeah, he's a glam rock. He's a Christian glam rock tiger. I'm like, who the fuck thought of these? Who the fuck are you people? Who is buying these to justify not one, not two, but multiple Tales from the Pizzaplex? And they're not like they're tiny books either. Like this is like 250 page books, which doesn't seem like a lot. But when you have 6, 7 books, like, yeah, that's quite a bit. It's like, that's a couple hundred pages. Love it. Yeah, it's, again, anytime you want Kino on the menu, just go to your local supermarket and find the book section. You can even just read the back cover. You find some weird shit there. A lot of westerns here in the States, a lot of romance novels, or a lot of like... And mind you, Amazon is 150 times worse. I want you to know that. Amazon is about 150 times worse than all of this combined. Let's see, like, here's the thing. So, if we're looking at, like, let me see if I can find the fucking books. I can't even find the fucking books anywhere. I'll have to find them later. I'll post them in the server or whatever. Here, oh yes, yeah, you don't need any physical book to do that. I did not do the, I have the Warrior Cats RPG. It is going to be in a franchise case. We're doing a case this Friday. That's not going to be, not this Friday, this Saturday. That's not going to be an official case because it's going to be on someone else's channel. I'm going to ask them kind of probably on Friday, being like, hey, can I record this? Can I put this on my, own channel kind of thing as its own thing? I might do that, I might not. It depends on what they say. But yeah, we're going to be going over a yes, there's going to be a collab. What's tomorrow? I'm going to do jack shit tomorrow, man. I've been fucked up all day. Because for a little bit of backstory of what's been going on in the Notepad add-on experience for Tuesday and Wednesday. Originally, the video on heroin was going to come out on Friday. That was the goal. I want to take Tuesday off, heroin, and then Friday will be heroin. Cool. Alright, easy enough to understand. However, what happened was, yesterday, I get a call from my mom. She's like, Notepad, you have to come over right now. I'm like, okay, I'll come over. What's the matter? I get over there and she is terrified. Absolutely scared shitless. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And she's like, there's a rat. I'm like, okay. So I grab her broom and I'm like going around her house looking for this rat. Can't find it. Nowhere to be found. I'm like, my mom has successfully taken too many drugs in the 80s. She's fucked up. She is seeing shit now. And then when we're sitting down, I've like calmed her down. Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We've called your landlord. He'll be here tomorrow. All we hear is, and I look over and I see the fattest fucking rat I have ever seen, like, go under her oven. And I'm like, nope. And I'm like, holy shit. And she was like, I told you, I'm not crazy. I thought she was crazy for a minute. And so we packed up some stuff and we got her to a hotel, and we talked to her landlord today, and he's like, we can't get an exterminator out till Friday. Is it okay if we do this? You don't have to pay rent until all the entirety of May. I'm sorry. Oh God. Dynamite the motherfucker. My mom was like, we should burn down the house. I'm like, no, we are not burning down the house. But yeah, no, we got everything sorted out. So today has been, we were kind of like going around kind of just doing random shit. And eventually we got things sorted out. Because here's the thing. My mom has been texting me saying we should get a cat named Meowlius Caesar. I want you to know this. She wants to get a cat named Meowlius Caesar. She wants to get this cat. And she's like, he's a big tomcat. You'll love him, Notepad. You could take care of him. And I'm like, we are not getting a cat named Meowlius Caesar. For reasons why, oh, why don't you have a cat? It is quite literally because the landlord hates cats. Despises cats. And now she's like, we should get a rat terrier. And no, like, this was it would be a shelter thing. And here's the thing. My mom has sent me a new animal, a rat terrier. She's like, Notepad, here's this rat terrier. And his name is Tiny Caesar Stevie Wonder. Yes, a small but vicious dog. She wants to get Tiny Stevie Wonder. That is the actual dog's name. However, because it's my mother, she couldn't pick out a normal dog. No, he's blind. He's blind in one eye. So we would have an eye. Sorry, everybody. We would have fucking Saltspire the dog go around hunting a rat. I'll have you know, I would say, yeah, let's call him Saltspire. My mother would not get it, but Saltspire the dog would be our professional rat killer. Sigmund, bless this ravaged body. So yeah, to give you an idea, I went to bed at 4 a.m. last night, and I woke up at 7 a.m. To pick her up from the hotel she was at. I have not slept since then. I am running off of caffeine and dreams. Is your mom still high? No. My mom just really hates rats. And she really likes fucked up, like, rescue pets. She was about 5 seconds away. Yeah, my mother was about 5 seconds away from picking up a pair of cats named Anna and Elsa. And this was the secret here was that Elsa was completely blind. Anna, however, had a mental defect where Anna was effectively, and I say this not lightly, retarded. It had cat Down syndrome, effectively, because of a brain issue. However, because they were raised so close to one another, Anna would help Elsa walk, but Elsa would have to do most other things. And they showed him like walking around, and quite literally Anna the cat was like this lumbering huge thing, and you know, you had little Elsa there like I'm like, what? Like, no, we are not getting this. Like, we are not getting these animals. She's like, oh, no, Notepad, it'll be fun. Like, neither of our places accept animals. You can't do this. Wholesome, in a kind of sad way. But back on track. And enough about why Notepad hasn't been sleeping properly for the past few days. For the briefest of moments, I did consider a surge. Adopting retarded animals. I see where why your interest in making a Discord server came from. Real. Yeah, see, I'm scared. The only thing I'm scared about is that we're going to get a cat and it would be like fucking Garfield. And it's like, god damn it. I don't want a Garfield cat. I want a good cat, a big mean cat, kill rats. And be weirdly hostile toward things I don't like, but weirdly friendly toward me. So we can make funny cat videos online, and then I can make a... So I can make funny viral content and post on the Uni thread. I'll have you know, I will die for the Uni. I'm gonna die for this cat. Not Maxwell. See, I love my mom, but she would want to get a dumb... There is already a cat RPG. There's a few cat RPGs. Let's see. Surge is a good idea, not for this game, though. If we want to do something a little bit... I want to ride my bicycle, I want to ride my bike. See, it's kind of the issue we're having right now. It is, do we want to have a map, or do we just want to have the velocity map? Both of these can exist together, but it really depends on, do we want to base the entire game around this, like, kind of this velocity map system or not? Yeah, Wick's cat game. Wick's cat game is Wick. Velocity enough. Yeah, it's one of those things where you could do just the map itself, you could do just this system, or you can do just this system, and working them all together is a very strange situation. And I guess we could just do this. So I mean, if we want to do this, would be 0. Technically, I guess we would also add in a theoretical 7th position. So kind of the idea, like, this is cratered. Like, to give you, kind of, everyone's going to start here. Because our current way is standing, hovering, flying, dashing, blitzing, bolting, and flashing. And kind of my idea was like, you want to stay within here. This is your ideal place. You want to stay right in the middle. You get knocked down to 0, you've been cratered. You have literally been thrown into the ground and you are going nothing. And it's going to take a little bit for you to get out of that. You go too fast, you have flown away, effectively. Hitting 7 is either you've been blown away from the fight, as in you are a distance away at this point that's going to take you a round to get back, or you are trying to retreat. It's like you are going so fast that you are attempting to run away from the fight. They mostly fight in unspecified badlands. Yeah, and you see the issue, Yosemite. Like, yeah, I mean, it's not like we can't put something. We're not strictly beholden to the idea, like, strictly of the velocity map. We could put something in here to add it. Or if we want, option 2 is we could put, oh, what would it be? It would be, we could put Ryutama, item tokens. Now, bear with me when I say Ryutama item tokens. In Ryutama, whenever you get into a fight, what can occur is everyone's going to get just stuff strewn around the battlefield. And it effectively, the stuff around the field is like, hey, I could tick off this thing and use a wall in the battlefield to level my crossbow and get a bonus. Hey. Yeah, like, and even like some ideas what we could do with this idea of there's just a set amount of items is we could spice up every battlefield by saying, hey, there are a bunch of buildings here, and because there's a bunch of buildings, you could always throw someone into a building. Anytime you do a momentum action, you can throw someone into a goddamn building and they will take extra damage. Or if we're fighting in Badlands, there might be like 2 mountains in the area that you can get thrown into. It's not necessarily like a strict like, oh, well, we have to map out where all they are. No, it's like you've been punched, you've been flung across. Keep things pretty light just because of how fights escalate. And what I was even thinking is that everybody has to start. Everyone starts here to about here. So they would be either standing, hovering, or flying. And it's kind of like you have to start here, and then you can, for an action effectively, choose to ramp yourself up for free. So you're able to go faster and faster and faster, but it's not as efficient. It's harder to go down than go up. Yeah, you're seeing it now. Because what I was thinking of is that the speed here is also how much AP you're going to be generating, which allows you to do stuff. So if I'm going on 5, you're going on 3, you would only roll 3d6, I would roll 5d6. On the other hand, good news, bad news. Good news, you're farther away from me. Bad news, I am going to get possibly more actions than you right away. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to roll higher than you, though. On the other hand, this also is a little bit weird, because there is option. The original way of doing things was this. Literally, you just had a flat amount of AP that you would always generate, and we don't really care about this initiative thing at all. Just like you build up your sequential score and go. The only thing I'm worried about here is, here's the thing. How do we, fast, but I would say not weak, but light hitter. A fast but light hitting character versus a heavy hitter. In the current situation, the fast character just has a raw advantage because they would be able to get more AP. They are getting more things to punch you really hard with. Yeah, that was the original way of how they did it in Shin Megami, was that this number down here is your fumble chance, because everything's a 2d6 in that game. If you are going light speed, if you roll a 6 or below, you fumble and you lose everything, even if you were to succeed at the action. Because it would be possible to, if you do it perfectly, succeed on a 6 or lower. The problem being is you've fumbled it already, because Shin Megami is a weird game, but it's very interesting. Like, exactly. Why wouldn't you always just go as fast as possible? That's the issue. Shin Megami, they got around that by saying, hey, not only is this the map, but this is also your fumble chance. Like, this is your ability to fuck up. So, like, yeah, you're going first. You have a distinctly higher chance of messing up. This game doesn't have that as much. So it's like, why wouldn't you always just go as fast as possible? So that's where, again, one of those very fascinating questions come up. Unless I want to put up a situation where either put a restriction, like, it's either you put a restriction on them, saying you can only go up to 5 right off the bat until you spend something to build up that speed. Or you put in a situation where even if you're going super hyper speed, it's not as... there's still value to it, but it's not as value. There's a drawback to it, but what would that drawback be? And kind of the immediate answer is anyone below you gets a bonus to defense. Like, it's just, you are attacking someone going slower than you, they are able to defend themselves more easily. That is an option. Honest to God, it is. Because it would allow someone who is slower on the initiative to be able to counter things more efficiently than if they were, a faster person attacking someone faster than them. But again, is that... But again, how do you make that work? You see why this is kind of the biggest problem child. If I can get this to work, I can make it work. And again, it would be really easy if I cut one thing of this out. I said no velocity map. Alright, we can just do context initiative system and go from there. If I say no contact initiative system, then the velocity map would work fine. But I think the initiative system is correct, and I think the velocity map is correct. How do I make these two work together? That's the question. All based on dice pools, right? Yes. It's all based on dice pool. And at most, absolute most, you're going to be rolling like 15, 16 d6 or even higher. But I'll probably put in the, hey, you don't want it, like the absurd dice rule being like, hey, don't roll more than 10 of anything. If you have more than 10 of a die, every other die, so if you have 14, for example, you get 2 free. You would just average them together, and that's just what you would get. If you want to, it would be an alternate rule, but it would be like a, hey, you want to keep this really easy, this is... In case math is difficult for you, you may choose to count to only 10. But... yeah, again, I feel like this is the correct answer, but what is that answer? I think this is, we're reaching there, so it's kind of like, hey, getting bonus AP means you're going to be acting first, possibly. On the other hand, you are not going to place first. If you're not very fast, you won't place yourself down first. So it's kind of that situation of, hey, this is a slower person than this. She would have to put herself down first, and then you will be able to, the faster person would react, saying, okay, cool, I'm going now faster than you. And it would be bing, bing. You know, you're kind of getting a better idea of like who's going first, who's going second. No sound? Man, really? Man, you're even a Pepe. You're even a frog, man. I'm coming in alright, everyone, right? You all can hear me. I can hear myself. So... It'd be really bad if that weren't the case. Moving slower, add in a negative modifier. Yeah, okay. Add in a negative modifier to the dice pool, like you add AT6, then you're attacking a guy moving 3 slower, add in 3d4 or 3. Well, actually, what we could do, because we do have our 3 attack methods. Effectively, there are 3 ways to attack someone. Withering, a decisive, or a momentum attack. Withering attacks is, I don't know whether or not I want them to, you're reducing your speed, or you're reducing your AP. I am saying I am not going for your health, I am strictly going for your... I am going for your AP. I want to make sure that you get to act, like you don't get to act as much. I am trying to hinder your advance. We're locking each other into a combat. We're clearly not fighting one another. I'm just holding you up. I'm knocking you away kind of thing. Decisive attacks, on the other hand, are I want to hurt you. I am going to punch you in the face and draw blood. I want to draw blood. While a momentum attack is going to be all about I want to change your speed or knock you into things. Currently, I have this. It's not flawless. Kind of the idea of like, if you want to do a withering attack, you spend X and you spend X AP and you get, you know, damage out equal to how much you spent. So you might have you might do like little energy blasts, cost 1 key, and it costs, and you get to reduce it by whatever your spirit is. You do that 4 times, that's 4 instances of blocking or whatever. How many stats does a player supposed to track every turn? Grapple 3 fast, you can bring a target opponent down to your speed. Imagine some attacks might have window of opportunity where you have the enemy be within a certain bounds. Attacks being better against those who are slower. Something. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The bratty toaster dies. How many stats is a player supposed to track every turn? At the absolute most, you're going to be keeping track of a variable AP. You're going to keep track of a variable AP because that's going to go down depending on how much you're spending. Again, you just get a boatload of currency. And these 9, which, to be frank, you're actually going to be paying attention to about 3 of them. 3 to 4. Depending on how you build your character, as well as your health. But again, that kind of plays into that. Health is not... I don't consider health a major thing to keep track of, because, well, it's health, and that's something you should expect. Because if it's more than 3, you can stuff that game up yours. Cool, Caven. Then you can leave if you want. This is the game I'm writing. That's why, again, that's why I'm trying to get this to be the way I want. Health is overrated. Health plays into the Zenkai boost. That's something I think is important. I thought about adding something like wounds, but wounds felt weird. like, that doesn't feel correct either, because then you get really iggy, biggy, fucky, wucky, that doesn't quite work. So I'm like, okay, we have health. The more health you lose, the more XP you get. Use Zenkai Boost. Easy enough to understand. You take 10 damage, you get 10 XP at the end of the fight. You take 50 damage, you get 50 XP at the end of the fight. Get into a fight, get your shit kicked in. You want to go as hard as possible, as fast as possible, to get injured as much as possible, to get stronger. You are going to do better if you are hurt. You made it feel like a lot of stuff to keep track of. Again, it's one of those things as well, where it's like, wow, that sounds like a lot to keep track of, but it's like, can you do basic math? That's why I'm hesitant to use this. I am very hesitant to use this, because I was even tracking it, and sometimes these numbers could get a little ridiculous. Anytime you add in a multiplier like that, it gets bigger. And now, mind you, this is the equation for the sequential score in Contact. That's why I was like, That's why I was thinking about breaking up, like, action initiative versus just your raw speed initiative, like keeping these as has summoned the $20 ratty toaster. All right, give me 1 second. I need to bring out the Labratty toaster. Let's bring out the Bratty toaster, everybody. Yay! It's Bratty toaster hours. We did it, everybody. We summoned the Bratty toaster. I hope you all are happy. Oh my. Her name is Bethany. Admittedly, Matt doesn't really seem for the tone of the game like this. See, that's kind of the... It's a really weird scenario, because with a game... I've talked about this with, like, any high-powered game. There's always this line when it comes to high-powered games. And there is the distinct middle piece. You can either go real rules light. Doesn't matter how rules light, but you go rules light or you go rules fucking heavy. And normally you would say, like, oh, well, there's the gooey middle. There is no gooey middle. It is, you kind of have to go extreme in either direction. And, like, I don't believe going rules light is the correct option. I do not believe that is the correct option. I'm trying not to make this, like, calculate your energy boost signal, because I've been having to reference, like, Dragon Ball games. Like, I've been looking at other, like, Android, yeah, not even Android. I've been looking at other DBZ, TTRPGs, DBZ things, and I was like, okay, I can do like that. And it really does fall into, like, roll 2d6, and on a 10 up, you perform Gallic Gun, and they blow up because you're Vegeta. You're Vegeta, everybody. Or it's like, here is 20 pages of you calculating your, like, key blast strength based on this linear equation to determine the amount of energy you are pumping into it. It's like, okay, neither of these are quite correct. How do I get it a gooey middle place? That's why I'm not necessarily saying this is a Dragon Ball Z game. I'm saying that right now. It's not. Yeah, it's either hello everyone. Say hello to Charmanly. He's here to kill a Muro. Oh god. Nah, I'd win. ugh. Yeah, no, you see that is the biggest problem, child. It is either you go real rules light or you go real heavy. And even introducing, even if this was just a game, if this was just a game of every character flies while fighting, that adds a completely new layer of complication. That is already a, oh fuck me. I have no goddamn idea how to do this. Like, yeah, so I think there's bound to be some numbers at optional rules as an appendix. Oh yeah, no, there are most likely going to be there's going to be side rules spread throughout. If only there are going to be side rules of, here's how to make this easier in case you want. Here's how to make this simpler. Like, again, hey, instead of rolling 16d6, you are instead going to be rolling, 10d6 with 3, with the average of 66 roll. Like, here's how to make this really simple. Speed versus power. See, that's, again, currently in our current situation, living steel was stupidly cumbersome. Yeah, it's, even if you, like, the current situation that I'm running into, if we're going into, again, this very simple little chart of, fast, low, weak, strong. In an ideal sense, most characters are going to be round here. This is where I actually know, even I want most characters to feel around, kind of like here. I want them in this corner quadrant. Hey, you're super fast, but you're not super tough. Or hey, you're super strong, but kind of slow. The problem is the current way that how I want to do things, it's favoring this over anything else. This is favored rather than being strong or anything like that. It's like you want to be just fast. It doesn't matter anything else. Which arguably was which was a major problem when it came to Contact. That was arguably Contact's biggest problem. So it's like, how do you fix a 15-year-old German game that caused the company to collapse? I don't know. This is where things get fun. Because the idea of you roll your initiative, and that is how much XP, that is effectively how much AP, how much stuff you can do this turn. E total allocate either speed or power or something like that. Fascist. Always fascist. But either only, Oh, I remember the Alien RPG. I actually went over that one. I gaslit everyone. Fun fact, everyone, I've never actually gone over Free League's Alien RPG because I went over Phoenix Command's Alien RPG forever ago. Never made a video on it. Maybe I should do that to fuck with people. Gaslight girl boss gatekeep. Damn straight. Like, yeah, when it comes to like key, oh god, there's a bunch of different ways to do key. And again, this kind of comes into the problem of like, what we're working with is already a little bit goofy. God, it's been 8 billion. It would be like, because you get like I'll use Sparking Zero because that's the this is the new game we're all supposed to like. So if we look here, this is one of the Budokai Tenkaichi games. This is their key, Right here under their health bars. You can kind of clearly see that's their key. This is a bar. You build up the bar, you use it to do specials. Whether this is shooting energy blasts, shooting your special abilities, doing special defense techniques, doesn't matter. This is a bar that you fill up and expend. Got your health bar, obviously, and that's really it. On the other hand, you can kind of do it what they interpret key as in setting, which is, hey, this is, you have key, which is just your inner reserve of strength. Yeah, everyone can do energy blasts if they train in martial arts long enough. Hey, everyone can do this, and it's like, oh, Jesus. Like, like, oh, God. I guess we could have a... Why are you all posting anime girls in my chat? Why? Maybe we split the map up like this. Maybe we split the map up into kind of like you want to be defensive versus offensive. Like the more offensive you are, the cheaper your things get, It's effectively, hey, I'm going offense, I want to punch you to death, or hey, I'm going defense, I don't want to punch you to death, but I want to protect myself. It gets cheaper down here, but you're defending yourself is harder while on the offense, defending yourself is a lot easier on the defense. You're going later in the round, though. But you have less AP to work with, you have more on the round, but I don't... No, Spartan, no! See, the thing is, I can only assume every character that gets posted in my chat here, I can only assume is an anime girl until proven otherwise. Because you're all degenerates and or Eastern European. So it kind of comes with the territory. What the... I'll have you know, I've never known the... Oh, jeez. I'll have you know, Spartan, I never knew who the fuck this person was you kept posting. So I've decided to click on it. Yeah, I'm not... Why is Kermit the Frog here? Oh no, it was Kermit. What's on... Oh. Oh my. Wait, it can't be... Oh, nope, that's... Oh, that's... Oh. Uh-oh. I mean, there can't be anything too weird here, right? You wouldn't be doing something strange and unnatural. So if I click on this, I'm not going to feel sad about myself here. Oh, she's German. Oh, she's German. And she's a lolly. Oh, no. Like, why is Kantai Collection getting... Why is Kantai Collection getting mentioned here? Oh no. Oh no. People are drawing porn of that's oh no. I'm going to leave. This seems like a bad place. The lolly is new. Oh, she's originally a more mommy style VTuber. The mommy to lolly pipe. I can't even finish that. Oh man, I've lost control of my life. Azurlade porn is better. Real. As someone who wrote a boat girl game, real shit. Azurlane is way better in that front. Kantai Collection is for those who want boat autism. Azurlane is for those who want to fuck that boat. I want to fuck that boat. But that's kind of the nature of the beast, I guess. See, unfortunately, for those who don't know, we're doing an autism project here soon, and autism projects are going to be fun. As you can see, we've got our handful of options here. Our boat girl game did not make the cut, unfortunately. Even though doing the boat girl game would be very fun. Edinburgh. Don't worry, Coin. I see it. I see it. You can't hide your sin from me. Feel like something's here. Don't know. I enjoy my cute and funny. I'm sub to Shondo. Hey man, I can't say anything. I wrote a Blue Archive role-playing game. Again, I am not free from sin. Do you think I am? I wrote Blue Archive. The most authentic gun lolly game available. Let's see. What is Blue Archive? Well, Blue Archive is a fascinating, yeah, Blue Archive is a gacha game, and it's bad because I'm so used to typing in Blue Archive that it automatically goes to that. Blue Archive is a gacha game with a incredibly autistic lore about girls with guns who shoot things with a gun. But that's really it. Just imagine that it's an incredibly detailed, actually no, let's be honest with ourselves. It's Hyperborea, except everyone's an autistic gun girl. Yeah, everyone's just an autistic gun girl, but it's also Hyperborea, where everyone has a gun. Do you want a gun? Well, we've got a gun. Do you want a gun? Well, we've got a gun in here. Hey, you, small child, do you want a Glock? Like, yes, you can. However, if you understand why people are call this cunny archive, cute and funny, of course, there are some characters who are very cute and or funny. Far too many of them, in fact. You might know, most likely you know this character. If you do know anything from Blue Archive, this is Asuna. I thought Asuna was like the main character for the longest time, because you see her everywhere, because she has the most porn of every character in the series, bar none. I thought she was like a main character. She's like a secondary character at best. Yeah, like very much like a secondary character at best. She just has massive gazonkers. Massive, huge gajonkers. Absolute massive tracts of land. Of course, we also have the ass of Blue Archive, Karen, who has a anti-fucking material rifle, and this is her alt outfit. Yes, her alt outfit is just another fucking bunny outfit, because we need to make money somehow, kids. Uh-oh, Sork. Oh no, there's an Irish majority. Yeah, it's yeah, no, it's Asuna. You again, people who don't know Blue Archive probably know Asuna just because she shows up a lot. Like she's probably one of the better known characters in the series by virtue of the amount of pornographic imagery of her. Hardcore pornographic imagery, and like you're like, damn, that's a lot of porn. And you're like, there can't be that much porn. And you're like, nope, there is. Oops, it's nothing but porn. Let's see. I mean, hey, Gabriel, every anime girl is different from one another. I'll have you know. They are very different, except if they're Saber. If they're Saber, they're usually the exact same person. I'll have you know. Because this is Saber. Fate. If we Google Saber Fate, this is Saber. Everyone loves Saber. Look, everyone, it's Saiba-chan. However, all of these are also Saber. That's Mordred. That's Joan of Arc. That is a famous ninja, and that's not Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar shows up. That's, is that, oh, having a stroke, aren't I? No, that's not Caesar's. That's not Caesar. That's, I'm having a stroke. I am having a stroke. What is her name? What is she? You know, I'm having a complete fucking... I was correct. It's Caesar. It's just Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus. Of course. Fucking Rome. Rome was a mistake. Yeah, Nero. Yeah, well, there's Saber. The other Saber is Mordred. Saber's like Mordred. Yeah. It's great. There are like 6 different... Yeah, Saber clones are funny because then you get Saber like, then you get technically you also have her Lancer variant. Yeah, mind you, this is King Arthur. I want to remind everyone, this is King Arthur with under very specific circumstances. And technically Saber Lily exists. Saber Lily is also another Saber who is just the same Artoria Pendragon, just fresh from pulling the sword from the stone. Because they kept having to make different Sabers because this shit sells like hotcakes. There's also male Saber. You know, Saber, who's a dude this time, because this is the popular consensus of who King Arthur is. Not the female version. I can get very, very autistic about Fate lore. We do not talk about this. This is a problem. Gabriel, I don't think you quite understand. This is a problem for me. I know too much Fate lore. This is my, like, something that I've invested too many of my points into. To learning all about Saber lore and other bullshit lore from goddamn Fate. This is not productive. This is not healthy. It is a problem. Ow. Ugh. So why does Archer use knives then summon more knives? There is a very complicated story behind that. There is a very, very complicated story behind that. But he does technically have a bow. It's just that he's plot relevant for very different reasons. Legitimately speaking, he's like Hercules in that regard. He could become literally anything, bar a magician probably. He's kind of one of those guys. He can kind of become anything. I would say, reasonably speaking, Archer could become anything except magician, and you would need to make a very strong case for make a very, very strong case for assassin if you want to be really specific about things, but it kind of depends on your interpretation of assassin. If you want to go classic assassin, or do you want to go more new assassin? If it's new assassin, then he counts. If it's old assassin, he wouldn't count. Because in old lore, before they retcon things, technically every single assassin was one assassin. It was just the Hashashin. They were all the same person, just different variations of them. It kind of depends on your circumstance there, but yes, he could probably materialize from anyone using some variety of sword, because that's his autism. You want to get a little bit more specific, you could also probably make an argument that he couldn't become some of the more exotic classes like ruler. He could not become shielder, obviously. He can't become not prophet. It's he can't become savior. Only Buddha can become savior. Because yes, remember, Buddha is in Fate, by the way. The fact that I know he can't become things like Watcher, Shielder, it's Watcher, Shielder, Gunner. He could technically become Gunner if you want to be really specific and use his Emiya alter form. If you try to use his alter form, it counts because he just gets a gat. But that's a completely different thing. Again, this is my autism. I have spent far too long researching this. I was deep in the Fate shit for a while. I was way too deep into it. That's why I'm weird and isolated. How deep? I got too deep. I will still... Here's the thing. Of the entirety of the Nasuverse, Tsukahime is, like, amazing, and everyone should read Tsukahime at least once, because it's a really fucking good story. Though Kara no Kyokai is my favorite, by far. If you want to be real specific, if you want more mysteries, the Strange Case of Lord El Malloy, that's not his fucking name. I can never remember Waver's name. Tsukime's base. Exactly. Thank you, Keishi Mibara, 1983. Remember I watched Fate Stay Night? Because, like, the thing is, there's the really old Fate Stay Night anime from, like, 2006. That is bad. It's not very good. They remade... They remade Unlimited Blade Works not too long ago, and then they did Heaven's Feel. Heaven's Feel is fucking weird, though. We'll say that, of the three Fate routes, Heaven's Feel is the one that's like, oh shit, oh what the fuck. Wasn't even no, unironically, it's not even porn. I did have to actually delve a little bit too deeply into this, because for a very long time, I mean, I do have to read the VN. What I say by that is I wrote a bunch of stuff way back in the day for Fate, and so I had to learn a lot about it just to get, like, as accurate as possible. And that's why making a Fate RPG is fucking impossible, as someone who wrote a Fate RPG. It is not fun. Do not do it. It becomes Amber. I forget if fucking Rin is like dragons or unicorn. No, Rin is gems. Rin likes gems, and she has the thing with Rin is that she has a bunch of her family's magic relies on expensive jewels. The thing is, in the original series, in the VN, she has graphic sex with you to get her mana back. In the Animu, she gives you the dragon tattoo, which allows her to tap into which pretty much links your manas together. That was how they got around the graphic sex that Rin keeps forcing upon you. Unlimited Blade Works is unlimited Rin wants the dick. Fate TTRPG is in the SPRUG workshop. Yes, it is a diceless role-playing game based off of Amber. It's not very good, and I would have to remake it. Unlimited Rape Works. No, that's Heaven's Feel, Koi. That's Heaven's Feel, baby. That's Heaven's Feel. Like, to give you an idea, the Fate route is, yay, everyone, this is a happy-go-lucky adventure. The Unlimited Blade Works route is like, this is getting pretty goofy, but also pretty cool. Wow, this is neat. Holy shit, they killed a child. And then you have Heaven's Feel, which turns the entire story on its head, and it was just like, hey, asshole, you want to smoke some weed? It's like, what do you mean? It's full of worms! I'm like, oh, what the fuck? You're like, you feel disgusting playing Heaven's Feel. And that's arguably the point, though it does have my favorite ending in the series. It's oh god, it's hit you've triggered my autism. You've triggered my devil. This is my devil trigger. Oh no. But all right. Here's what I'm going to do, because it's late and my throat's giving out already. Oh god, here we go again. That is the third one today. That is the third one. I am on a list somewhere, boys. It's full of worms. How do I want to word this, Spartan? Well, here's the thing. Magic... to give you a good idea, magic is hereditary. You, a top-class magician has a lot of unlocked magic circuits in their body, and that means their dad, their mom, and their family did. Magical eugenics. However, there are ways to pop open your magic circuits artificially. One of the major families has a way to artificially open more magic circuits, and that's how they get really powerful, is they artificially open that shit. However, what if we took someone who was already very gifted, already had the proper, quote-unquote, proper genes to do it, and then threw them in the way to, unlock their magic circuits. I never dictated how to open the magic circuits, but it was graphic worms. Yes, the worms. That is kind of the best way to think about it, and that's why Heaven's Feel is very fucking weird. Because every single thing goes horribly, horribly wrong for everyone involved. And, to give you an idea, you have an option at the end, which is save character, save your girlfriend, save your sister, be a hero. None of them are the right option. Is it magic or science? Technically it's science because magic isn't real. This is okay. We're gonna be a little autistic now. You've triggered this devil trigger. I'm sorry, everyone who does not give a shit. Effectively, magic in the Nasuverse. Magic in the Nasuverse is unreal. This is important. Magic is unreal. Very few characters throughout the entire series throughout all the games, all the universe, can use actual magic. That's where you get characters like Zeltric, What does Zeltric do? Yes, he has the ability to bend reality. That is his entire thing, so he just goes to other realities and fucks around. Very, very few characters have magic, if any, and if they do have magic, they are extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. Most magicians in setting use magecraft. It's effectively like, if magic doesn't make sense, magecraft is putting that to an equation. It is, we are making an equation to make sure reality works the way we want. That's all it is. It's not real magic, because magic is, I can do whatever the fuck I want, it's magic. Magecraft is, I am doing a certain set of things for a result to occur. To give you an idea, generally speaking, the Holy Grail is the Holy Grail is the center of the Fate series. Everybody wants the Holy Grail, because the Holy Grail, magic. Remember, magic is unreal. The Holy Grail is magic. It is real magic, and I mean like real magic. So it's very powerful, and it's very useful, and characters do want it. But, yeah, that's kind of the idea. Magecraft is opening your magic circuits is, so it's basically God. Yes. It's very complicated to talk about, but yes. Unfortunately, yeah, the Holy Grail is basically God, comma, unfortunately, dot. What about Fortissimo? Okay, Fortissimo. So this is a completely different series called Fortissimo, or if we want the full series, if we, let me bring up the full name for this, because this is incredibly important. It's Fortissimo / Accord Blusvir. This is a series where magicians just work. Have sex with this girl and you get superpowers. Hey, look everyone. It's your mom, but also your holy weapon. But not a holy weapon, it's a magic weapon. Hey everyone, look, it's main girl. Hey everyone, look, she's got super duper powers. Hey everyone, look, this bitch is psycho. Hey everyone, where is let me see if I can find all of the various characters here. Yeah, this is your magic weapon. She's also possibly your mom, but also not. Yes, you can have graphic sex with her. It's encouraged even, because you get superpowers out of it. Let me see if I can find the yes. So this is your mom. Yes, your mom shows up. She is a plot relevant and very important character. Well, it's your adopted mother, not your actual mother. Your adopted 38-year-old adopted mother who looks like she's 16. Totally not weird, guys. It's wizard shit. Adopted. It's adopted Spartan. Very different. What about Prisma Ilia? Prisma Ilia takes place in a different universe from the main Fate universe, where Ilia is Shiro's younger sister, and she is a magical girl. There you go. Boom. Guys, it's lore accurate. Guys, you don't understand. She's a 1,000-year-old. She's a 1,000-year-old wizard in a body of a 12-year-old. It's fine. Well, the thing is, here's the thing with Ilia. Here, I'm gonna risk it all by putting in Prisma Ilia, because I like to play it risky here. To give you an example, these are the main three girls from Prisma Ilia. These two are not related, except in an alternate universe where she's also related to them, but that's a very complicated thing. These two are actually the same character. That's an alternate, literally an alternate version of her vaguely negative or, improper emotions. And yes, they do make out. Why? Because Kuro is quite literally her. And it's all the things that she still feels, including all of the weird relationships with her brother. Yes, she does really want to make out with people, namely her own brother and other girls. I'm going to jail, but I'm going to educate you motherfuckers beforehand. If I scroll down any more, we will hit pornography, so we're not doing that. Incest subtext. Very normal Japanese stuff. Admittedly, Ilia is... the first thing you see with Ilia in the VN is her on top of you, say, "Oh, hey, Oni-chan," and then immediately followed by her threatening to kill you. That's the first time you meet Ilia. Because remember, let me see if I can bring up Ilia, this is a very, let me see if, this is the first scene you see with Ilia. This is important. She is about, I believe she is 4 years older than you. Shiro is 16, Ilia is 20 years old. You may look at this and say, Notepad, this child is clearly not 20 years old. That's goofy. That's silly. This is a child here. The problem is she is a homunculus. She's technically not a real person. She's an artificial human being. And because of that, her growth has been completely spurred, because her body is a magic circuit. Her entire body is effectively powered by magic. Magecraft. Important distinction. And she does try to kill Ilia more than once, yes. Because, to give you an idea, Shiro, she does genuinely like Shiro. Unfortunately for everyone involved, Shiro is, across all universes, autistic. He's literally us. And I do like the fact that across all universes, Shiro continues to be autistic. There's no secret here. He's just an autist. He's dumb as a brick, and we like him for that. Also, technically, this is their mom. Yeah, this is their mom, Ilisville. Yeah. She's dead. She's dead in the main universe, like very dead. I'm not going to ask questions anymore. Again, this is something that I've gone way too deep on, and I've seen things I'm not proud about. But I know it. And if you ever have stupid, retarded questions about Fate, the answer is probably porn. Like, Prisma Ilia is a literal magical girl show that randomly halfway through becomes a completely different show, but maintains its goofy. It's very strange, and it's very interesting. And you're like, wow, this is really interesting. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to jail watching this. I understand. I'm going to the forever box, and I will never escape. But let me think. Is there anything else fun and exciting to talk about at this hour? No, nothing is fun and exciting anymore. Everything is dying. Oh god. My throat's shot to hell. We're always posting, Spartan. Prisma Ilia is a show for, it's a fan service. You're a lolicon, not a pedo notepad. Could be worse. I'm neither, actually. Thank you very much. I do enjoy older women. They do not enjoy me, however. No women enjoy me. I am a tabletop role-playing game developer with a notepad for a face. I tried Made in the Abyss. I tried Made in Abyss. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. I was like, man, this is fucking weird. You're reading it and you're like, okay, this is fine. And then you're like, this is not fine. Yeah, it's like, man, this is horrifying. And you're like, Yeah, no, I'm going to call it there. Thank you all for watching. Godspeed, good luck. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I am going to now disappear and stare at this some more and try to figure out my problem. Alright, I am away.